Hello, I'm Pedro, and I'm going to discuss in this video something interesting about uh, the virtual machine. So we are learning that in this class about server cloud computing in the ET 235, or as I call it. So the interesting part here is about when we have a business, what type of virtual machine we can have. So we have to access to some services. So in this case, the most important is to know what type of virtual machine in what service we have to host. So we have to select. We need to have our own servers in in-house, like on-premise, or we have to select the service by cloud. So that's depending on what we need. So, and that's depending about the scalability that we can have in our business. So that is the most important thing, because when we know that, we have to select the requirement and the specification of the virtual machine. So because in that case, so I am not going to put a virtual machine in a computer that I don't have all the requirements, including processor, RAMs, memory of video. So that's the most important stuff. So in my case, I applied that system in an engineering environment, and the video was the most important restricted part. So I cannot put a virtual machine in a cloud because that's so expensive. So we decide to implement the virtual machine on premise. So we are going to have our servers that they have the video card. So it's a little bit cheaper, to host, because we already have the hardware. So in this case, we deploy, the virtual machines, and we put the specific RAM and the processor that we require, and the video, you know, because that is one of the most restricted part. So, and the other stuff, if we want to create a virtual machine, we have to really know if that is going to be a connection inside an office or outside. So that's the most important, because when you are outside, I really recommend that we have to create a virtual machine on a cloud in Azure. So we're just going to have something important about a subscription that we can have. So this is something different from when you have on-premise, because all the subscription you are just going to manage by, for example, if you're going to connect by a VPN, and you're going to have like a server to have your own users and password, because I can create my password for me, for my other employer, or my other employee. So, but in this case, the subscription is managed by the VPN server. So, but in the other case that we are going to, for example, in Azure, that is the example that we are going to have a subscription, and that subscription can allow us to create the research in that subscription. So, and that subscription manages the price that we pay and all the money that we have allowed. So after that, we have to create, for example, about the storage that we are going to have, the network that we're going to manage, our own VPNs. So the benefits of this is that they already have their data center, so we only have access to that. We don't have to invest a lot. We only have to invest in the time that we are going to consume in that research, and that is a very good advantage, because we are not going to pay for that. We are not going to care about that. So we are not going to care about this. The system is down. Why? No, because we already pay for that. So that is a very advantage. And that's it.